Some of the smartest, most talented women that I have seen are people who work for or around President Trump.
God has plans for people's lives, and he put me in this place, in this moment, for a reason and for a purpose.
And who here is ready for 4 more years of Donald Trump?
It's good to be tolerant. That's a virtue, but not when it turns into the destruction of what is good.
Now they're going to come after us. They're not going to make it easy.
He's a bigot.
A liar. A serial liar.
He's a narcissist.
Politics is a nasty business.
Trump is a weak man with no courage.
Wow, was he right on that, right? Oh my gosh.
All right, that was a clip from the film recent release called The Trump I Know. Joining us now is the executive producer, Joe Nope, plus writer and director Matt Thayer and producer Joy Thayer. Guys, welcome.
Hey, Sean, how are you?
Good. Joy, Matt, I want to start with you because you're together. What was your goal making this? Because as Kelly said just a moment ago, this kind of debunks a lot of those myths that the mainstream media tried to perpetuate.
Yeah, I think there's so many good reasons that we decided to be a part of this project. But even as what we're going through right now, as you can see with the things that are going on with gun control and that's going on with the crisis at the border, the policies that President Trump put in place during his time in office are policies that we agree with. But going back and finding out who he is as a man and as a person was really important to us, because the mainstream media was trying to spin that narrative, and they were trying to make this a popularity contest and a personality contest. And it really wasn't about that. It's really about that he does empower women, that he really cares about our country, and that the truth just needed to get out there.
Matt, did you think this is where you'd end up when you started it?
Actually, it was interesting because I didn't vote for Trump in 2016. I was a never Trumper, but after a while of actually listening to him, things didn't adding up. You know, it was contrary to what I was hearing from the mainstream media, and especially I think in regards to his treatment of women, and so I was very interested in how, like, as I began to discover and do some of the research for directing the documentary, you know, to discover that he's called Paula White his pastor for 20 years, and you know, a misogynist just wouldn't call a woman his pastor. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, this looks like a fabulous movie. Selfishly, I would have loved for it to come out, you know, last September. But I mean, there was a bunch of strong women in President Trump's White House, myself included, and he was a wonderful boss. And it looks like you're conveying the real human side of the man that really hasn't been seen before. Joe, I'd like to ask you this question. You had a connection to the Trump family through a previous film you made with Laura Trump. What made you kind of want to make this film, and kind of how did it start off?
So thanks for having us. When I met Laura on our previous film, it was called Unplanned. It was a great pro-life movie. Yeah. You know, Laura invited me to her office up in New York City in Trump Tower, and just hearing her tell her journey. You know, she wasn't born into the Trump family. She's born in Middle America, down in North Carolina, just a great family. And hearing her values and kind of her entry into the Trump family, it was definitely a disconnect from everything I've heard from the media with the Trump family. So the more time I spent with Laura, and the more I got to know her and hear stories about her family, the women in her family, she helped me realize there are a lot of women in the administration. There were a lot of women in the campaign, and they adore President Trump, and he gave them the highest roles. So I just felt like the rest of America needed to hear the truth, see the truth, and the best way to do that is just from their mouths. So Laura was gracious to kind of lead us through this trail all the way up to an interview with her father-in-law.
I want to ask you guys one at a time. After the film, if somebody walked up to you and said, tell me one thing about President Trump that I don't know that might shock me, what would it be? Joy, I want to start with you.
I was like Matt. I wasn't a fan of President Trump because of the narrative that I had been hearing. And I think hearing firsthand experience, like even you're saying right now, is going that, oh, he's been pro-woman from all the way back when he built Trump Tower to today, where he's got, you know, all these phenomenal, talented, educated women around him leading this administration.
Matt,
yeah, I would say that the thing that was there was so many things, but one that stood out to me was when we were standing and we were talking to one of the Secret Service agents that was standing guard over Eric and Laura, and we just asked, like, hey, so, you know, how are they? What are they like? And and they just looked at me and they looked at us and said, they're genuinely the most amazing people.
Wow.
And, you know, and to hear that coming from those guys, you know, and that the guy said, yeah, I get asked by my friends and family all the time when I go back for holidays, like, hey, give us the dirt on the Trumps. And he's like, there really isn't any. Like, they're really genuinely great people. And that was really encouraging to hear.
Joe,
have a great.
Joe, I'm sorry, we're out of time. But Joe, just real quick, if someone wants to watch it, where can they see it?
They can see anywhere you access your digital media. So Amazon, Google, Apple Play, it's all the normal places.
Okay, well, it's a beautiful weekend to download this and get an insight into Trump. Thank you guys for all being here, and congratulations on the movie.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.